Video Kouyoumji.
Good morning.
So now it's working?
It is working. That's perfect. I can hear you. You can hear me. 1 2 1 2. And
yeah.
I wanted to show you my screen. So what to do to show you?
Yeah, just yes.
Yes, I show you my screen first, and then we can mute.
Yeah. Just show your screen and then we can mute and then start at 3.
Intégralité de votre écran. Toc. Partager.
You're welcome.
Good morning. Can you see my screen now?
No.
Écran entier. Doc. Whole screen is shared. I received a message from Mr. Kumar.
Okay.
Thank you for your welcome. Here, can you see something?
Yes. Yes.
Good.
I can.
Okay. Good. So if I switch to this one, most important, and F5, here, can see, yeah?
Your screen, no, it's not as yet.
This is the presentation.
No,
Can you
it's
see it?
not there. No.
This one is not the presentation. Escape. This I can tell you, it's not my screen. Huh? The one I can see on the screen is not my screen. So somebody.
Maybe I'll just see.
Oh, there is an error.
सुकृति कुछ उसमें है क्या कोई प्रॉब्लम हमारे तरफ से तो कोई कुछ नहीं है तो नहीं ना ओके 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 देखते हैं थोड़ा वेट कर लेते हैं
J'en ai pris TTI. Autorisé. Here. Can you see this one? Nirmala?
No. You used it yesterday, no?
Yeah.
हाँ सुकृति हाँ जी क्या आ रहा है ओके वेट शायद हाँ ठीक है ओके Yeah, now it's fine.
Good. So I mute.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
A very good afternoon to all of you. We welcome you on the board of webinar entitled The French Innovation Process for Technology Transfer, Funding and Guidance, organized by DST-Centre for Policy Research at Punjab University. I request Professor Nirmala.
Hello, Jasmeet ji. Go in karke. Okay. Thank you. Yes, Sukriti, please go on.
A very good afternoon to all of you. We welcome you on board of webinar organized by DST-Centre for Policy Research at Punjab University. I request Professor Nirmala, Coordinator DST-CPR at PUCHD, to present a welcome note.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, faculty members, researchers, afternoon to all. It is Dr. Dundu for agreeing to give this talk at such a short notice on a very important topic, that is a technology transfer. His talk on the French innovative process of technology transfer, funding and guidance is very important, and it will highlight the steps taken by the French government for formulating how the researcher can be connected with the industry, and it is a key factor for economic development. And I, on behalf of Punjab University and on my personal behalf, I welcome Dr. Ronlu and for being here and thank him for being here with us and sharing the technology transfer process followed in France. Here I would like to add that I have worked with Dr. Jonlu for organizing World Bamboo Congresses 2015 in Korea, 2018 in Mexico, and we have started preparing for upcoming World Bamboo Congress in Taiwan in 2021. And it is a great experience to work with him because he comes up with good ideas. Now, I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, to say a few words and to welcome our guest, Dr. Jonlu. Professor Rajkumar, please.
Okay, thank you, madam. Very esteemed scientist, Dr. Zin from the France, FCBA Institute of Technology, very renowned scientist from the different institutions and organizations, coordinator of the PRC, then the research scholars and the scientists associated with the subject. At the outset, I welcome Dr. Zin for his sparing valuable time to address our scientists and the academicians of Punjab University. I'm very happy. The theme that you have chosen, the transfer of the technology, as I perceive, transfer of technology is a very important domain. And whatever we are doing, certainly that must go to the last person who is last in the queue. And it is the it is through the vibrating method of the IT that we have. And when we are talking about the transfer of the technology, and at the same time we must be clear that the technology must be very conducive to the system, appropriate to the system. Next thing, the technology, at the same time, technology cheap, must be cheaper, because this is the competitive age. If you have produced any technology of very costly affairs, then certainly that will not survive in the market. And third thing is that the technology must be very, very up to date. The product that you are going to submit must be very, very up to date. And last but not the least, the whatever you are producing, the technology transfer, that must have a very good market, very vibratory market. A market is the thing where you can make your product available and consumable. For that purpose, first of all, we just have the primary survey type of things. Thereafter, we will go for the researches, and ultimately whatever technology you are having, certainly that would be very useful for the system. In the present scenario, when the entire human existence is in danger, then such type of subject theme is very, very important. The reason being, everybody is looking at you. Every country, whether it is developed or developing or whatsoever, everybody is means thinking when we can get rid of this pandemic. And as a researcher and scientist, your responsibility has become many times. It is your sincere effort, it is your industry, it is your the amount of talent that you put in the system will help the entire thing to steer forward. I once again welcome the entire team of Professor Nirmalji for organizing the seminar. And I am also at the same time very happy that you have associated the persons of say repute to address this problem. With this once again, thank you very much for inviting me.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your welcome words. We are very thankful to you for your support and encouragement, and also for sparing your time for gracing this occasion. Thank you, sir. Now, Dr. Radhika will give a brief introduction about Dr. Zhonlu. She's a scientist working in the center. So, Dr. Radhika, could you please give an introduction?
Thank you, Professor Nirmala, Coordinator for Centre for Policy Research at Punjab University, Chandigarh. A very good afternoon to everyone. Moving ahead with our webinar schedule, I will take this opportunity to introduce our key speaker, Dr. Kouyoumji. Dr. Zhuan is a research engineer presently associated with FCBA Institute of Technology, France. The institute is directed for forest-based and furniture sector. Dr. Zhuan pursued his PhD in civil engineering and building science from Soviet University. His expertise lies in improvement and modeling of acoustic performances of wooden buildings and flanking transmissions, biosource materials for energy efficient building, and technology transfer and innovation in construction. He has coordinated over 30 projects both with public and private entities. He has over 25 papers to his credit which are presented to international congresses. He has also co-authored book on cross-laminated timber handbook. He has been a vice chair of European Union Cost Action FPO 0702 and TAPEX expert for Mediterranean countries. Thank you, Dr. Zhuan, for being on board with us. We all look forward to your insightful talk. So before handing the floor to Dr. Juan, I would share a few housekeeping instructions for all of our participants. Please keep your microphone on mute to minimize background noise and disturbance. For any questions, comments, and inputs, please post it in the chat box. We will take up the comments after the talk in our question answer round. So with this, I again welcome you, sir, and hand over the floor to you, Dr. Juan. Dr. Juan, to you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. After such a nice introduction, I cannot wait myself to hear what's going to be said. So I will start first with the presentation of my institution. I will run over it in a few minutes. And then we will go directly to the target, to the presentation I prepared actually for you. It's organized around technology transfer from university to industry. And of course, more general in France, what is done about this subject. Okay, so my institute, I'm working in the Technical Center of Wood and Furniture. And the aim of this institute is to reinforce the industrial competitiveness. And this is in the domain of forestry, pulp and paper, timber construction, and also furniture sector. So it's a wide range of activity. We are about 340 people. We have 7 areas where we are settled in France. The 2 big spaces are here on the picture. One is near Paris, near Disneyworld. This is the picture on the left, and the picture on the right is exactly where I am. Now I'm in one of the office on this facade. See? I'm actually here, exactly. So I'm talking from here to you. So this place is something like 13,000 square meters of laboratories, and everything is dedicated for building activities. The laboratory that is installed near Paris is more dedicated to furniture. So this is the biggest part, is furniture. Here is the biggest part is building. Okay. So our activity starts from forest and go to final application of wood. Start from forests. So we work on helping or making a very profitable plantation in forestry. We also work on cellulose, paper making, also insulation material, so on with cellulose. And of course, we work in the area of building with wood, and this is where I am working, okay? So our activities are in the domain of training, in dissemination, also technical consultancy, R&D, standardization, and also certification. I don't know if you're used to certification. Well, this is a very big activity in my center, where we just give certification to company, and we are holding something like 34 quality level of certification that we control in industry. Our installation here in Bordeaux, these are some pictures. We have 4 laboratories. One is about mechanics, the other one is about physics, third is about biology, and the fourth is chemistry and ecotoxicology. So for mechanics, here you can see on the right picture, this was during a congress in 2017. We built up a part of a building on a table, and actually it's a seismic table, it's a shaking table. So here the process was to shake the building as a test to control if its capacity of motion during an earthquake. Okay, so this is our laboratory for mechanics. Here you can see on the picture on the left some tests on very simple tests on monodimensional testing system, also on carpentry and also on full housing, where we can also test things. Okay, so I will mute my phone. Okay, so then we have also an area where we are performing fire testing. Here we have some tests on fire for reaction to fire and also resistant to fire, and we can test also this on the scale of a facade. And this is the test. Some also we have big activity on acoustics, and actually this is my major. I'm a research scientist on building physics and especially on acoustics. So this is our laboratory where we can measure absorption, sound transmission loss, impact noise, and so on. Also, we have a big activity on durability, and everything that we are working on is dictated or suggested by industry. So industry is our source of inspiration. Okay, like of course durability for wood is a very important and sensitive activity, and that's why we have a very big investment in that area. We are breeding some insects to make some tests on wood, treated wood or not treated wood, and so on. We work also on modification, enhancing the capacity of wood with different physical methods like heat or injection of product inside of it. We also work on finishing and so on. And on the right hand, you have some methods of testing that we put into practice that are now used all over the world, like this row, where you can weather. You can create an artificial weathering on finishing of paint. Okay, so also I will not go further in the presentation of my institute, but I will give you just a small idea of our biggest technology transfer activity or biggest project today at FCBA, and this is the high-rise wooden building. So high-rise wooden building is something that we worked on since 2005, something like that. It came with the rise of also cross-limited timber building system, and today it is completely feasible to make buildings of 24-story, and this is in Austria on the right hand, and on the left hand this is in Bordeaux. This building is 18-story building that started to be built here in Bordeaux. Okay, and with this big project, we started making some congress. We were waiting for something like 300 people to come to our congress, and 2,600 people came to this congress. So this was a real shock. I mean, we were not ready, actually, but it was a very nice experience. It went very well, and this was in 2017, and last year, 2019. We organized the second Wood-Rise Congress in Canada, in Quebec. Our partner, that is FP Innovation, in this subject was handling this congress. Next one will be in Japan next year, and we'll be happy to also invite you for this congress. We can talk about this technology transfer, building with wood, high-rise building. And today we are also managing Wood-Rise Alliance, where something like 22 research centers, European, but also Canadian, American, Japanese, Chinese, are also joining us for this alliance. And this is an alliance for research. Okay, and this alliance, I can talk a little bit about it because I am in charge of the scientific work on this, scientific coordination of the Wood-Rise Alliance. Okay, so let's go now to our subject of today. So what is France doing for innovation and what's the process for technology transfer? Okay, so in France, there is a lot of money that is distributed for technology transfer. I will give you an overview about that. I will also, from time to time, talk about my activity in this domain, and also focus on activity of research centers or universities. So, since 15 years, France is building an ambitious policy to support innovative small and medium enterprises. We are financing somehow 10 billion euro. Of course, this is going to change because of COVID, and what we are seeing now is that it's going to be bigger investment for the next years. So, how the government or the institution are funding? So they are funding with subsidies, with money that you don't reimburse. They are funding also with tax measures. They are funding with loans. They are funding with public investment or business, or putting you in a network where you can get business angels. So I will go deeper in detail about that. Okay, so the fund is coming from the government, also from ministries, from agencies that are dedicated for research, and also from foundation or even local government. Yes, we have 11 local governments in France, and those we call them region or territories. Those regions also have projects of funding for innovative activity. One of the biggest actors in this area is BPI France. BPI France is an institution that is the merge of a bank, the bank of the government, and also an institution that was in charge of helping innovation and also investment of company. So this is one of the biggest today, one of the biggest stakeholders. Okay, so and if you are applying for money, so at what stage you can apply for money? Actually, it is all over the life of an idea, not even about the company, it's about an idea. You can be a project holder and get money for that, for the development of your project. ID holder, you can get also money for your ID, and help also in different kind of help. It's not only money that is distributed. You would see it. You have also guidance. You have also people that help you in all steps of your project. So you can get also money while you're creating your company. You can get money when you are preparing a patent. You can get money when you have to perform another R&D project. You can get money when you're at the level of prototyping, at the level of making a demonstrator, or even when you're looking for expanding your market. You can have a project on marketing and also on a market survey and so on. So let's zoom in subsidy. So the subsidy are paid by the government or a public party or private party to a private party. So I said it's without any obligation of reimburse. Yes, this is like that, and of course it's subsidy. Okay, it is mainly paid by the Public Investment Bank, that is represented by BPI France. It can be also paid by local authorities, by the French government, by a specific agency that have a project or program of research, or foundation. In France, we have a different foundation. I'm working from time to time with the Energy Foundation, Energy for Building Foundation. So it's a different private company that created a foundation, put money in common, and then distribute that money. Okay, and of course they will get some waiving of their tax, income tax. Yes. So the subsidy, you can get them when you apply for a project, when you prepare an application for a very brilliant idea. You can get also the subsidy if you win a competition. We will see that it's more or less more often for startups, for instance. You can get a subsidy if you are working on a very early stage feasibility study. You can get subsidy when you are working on R&D and innovation project. So let's say subsidy is given when you have a very big risk on the outcome of your project. When you are very near to the market, then you get more, like usually you get more different money, different kind of money, like tax measure or loans. Tax measure, what is that measure? So today, when you have an innovative project, you can get part of your tax that are removed. Yeah. So to encourage you in investing in innovation, you just declare that you're working on innovation, and then the government will waive part of your tax, or all of it, even. Actually, you pay your tax and then they reimburse you. Okay, there are three tax measures, and even those measures, you can combine them. One is Crédit Impôt Recherche in French, the research tax credit. This is deduced from your income tax, and it is made for paying your research expenses. Okay, you just need to declare what are your project expense, and then you will get money from the government. Another thing, this is CIR. Another thing you can apply for is the innovation tax credit, and this is more or less the same, but it is for another stage. And this is specific for prototype and pilot installation. This is a bigger investment for a company. You have also measures that are for a young innovative company, and when you are a young innovative company, they can remove a part of the salary that you are paying to your the tax of salary that you are paying to your partners or your staff. So part of the money tax is removed from what you have to pay to the government. Okay, so this is the tax measures. Another thing is the loan. Loan, you can get loan at different phases of your project, but morely when you are near to transfer. It's mainly bank that will provide you with money, and usually it's BPI France again. That is one of the biggest stakeholder in that area, more interlocutor. Yes. Okay, so who are the funding actors? I was talking about BPI France, the merge of the French bank, not Banque de France, but another one, the one that get the tax income. Yes, so this bank, and also the organism or the institution that was in charge of making innovative project in the past. Okay, so so they help at every stage of the project. They can provide you with funding, or subsidy or loans, or also they can provide you with warranty. That is very important when you are in the market, to be able to present a warranty to your partners. Yes. And also, BPI France, it's not only a funding partner, it's also a coaching or an assistance partner, because in that institution you have lots of research scientists or let's say people that know exactly what happened in a transfer technology project, and they are always here to help you. And they even have an export agency. So if you want to go from French market to export, you can also apply for help from BPI France. Okay. Another big funding actor is the local authorities. It can be local governments. Here is Aquitania. This is a very wide territory in France. It is the biggest one, and you have 11 in the metropole. That we, I mean, the French territory. We have 11, and this have also a policy or a project for research. With different area of interest for the local government. And of course, it is more focused on getting the territory more competitive. Okay, we have also at the level of cities, we call it metropole, local authority, and if we look in a bigger zoom, we have the French Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Environment, and Ministry of Industry, and everybody has a policy for funding project, research project, and this is more usual projects subsidized for industry, but together with research institutes, actually like FCBA. Okay, other funding actors is the French government agency. We have a very big French government agency for research. This is National Research Agency, ANR. We have also another big agency. This is the Ecologic Transition Agency. Before it was the Environment Agency or Energy Mastering Environmental and Development Agency. Now they changed their name to fit to the international climate change. Okay, so the name of today is Ecologic Transition Agency. Also, the government are giving a very big impulse. One of them is PIA, Plan d'investissement d'avenir. Avenir is future. So investment for future plan, and this was in 2017, 42 billion money was put in the table, and all the industry was questioned. This is the money. This money is for you. How can you spend it to be more competitive in the future? So you have lots of measures of financing, even for small projects, coming from this PIA, Plan d'investissement d'avenir, future investment. Okay. You have also private foundation that have program for research. I told you about the Building Energy Foundation that are held by the energy partner in France, like Shell, Total, electricity, everybody working on energy. They grouped together and then they created this Building Energy. That was the foundation to try to master the consumption of energy in building, for instance. And of course, you have Europe. With big program, multi-annual program. Today we are in the H2020 program that is finishing this year, Horizon 2020. It is not, all the money has not been spent in this Horizon 2020, and we are preparing, Europe is preparing the Horizon Europe program that will start in 2021. Okay, and it's very difficult to get exactly how much money is spent in Europe. This is not easy to find, but it is hundreds of billions of euro every year for R&D. Okay, so let's zoom on ADEME, l'Agence de la maîtrise de l'énergie, the Agency of Ecological Transition. So it is a very very, I'd say, a very old agency in France. So it is active since years in implementation of public policy in the area of environment, energy, and sustainable development. And they have a project, or let's say they have a policy for funding project that is in different themes. The area of research is climate change, of course, mobility and transport. Everything that spend energy, they are there, climate change, mobility and transport, alternative approach to production of energy, alternative approach to production of anything, usually that make it more efficient in energy, alternative approach to consumption also. They have a big program in building. I got something like 12 or 13, 14 projects that have been financed by ADEME. They have a very big area of interest in acoustics and also energy efficiency, of course. They are working on renewable energy, of course, network for storage. This is a very big problem in consumption also. They are working also on urban planning, comfort, and development. They are working on waste, and also, I don't know if you're working on this subject, but today we have a booming project in France that is the reuse of material for construction. Very big project. And also they are making a lot of dissemination for the public. So this is a picture, but I cannot put numbers in front of it because it's very difficult to get exactly the amounts, or you can find, but they are very different from different sources. So you have the big circle. This is Europe that is funding projects in Europe. Actually, today I have one big project, European big project, and it is a project with 30 partners, and for that project we got 10 million euro as a subsidy. Okay, this is to give an example. So it's a big project that are funded by Europe, and they have a very strong policy for research and innovation. Okay, but now we're going to zoom into what we have interest in is the transfer technology. We have also in Europe some part of funding that is Interreg Europe, that is part of European countries that are grouped together to get funding. And also you have funding in region, territories, you have funding in metropoles, and more or less this is what you can get as funding, and of course every time you will have to apply and to adopt or to be in the target of their research area of interest. So this is a very big activity, and you have lots of people that are working in this area, and you have also a lot of facilitators. You have people to help you in different kind of institutes. You have technopoles, you have a Carnot Institute, you have Industrial Technical Center, you have Development Innovation Agency, you have technological platforms, you have Center for Technological Resource, you have Technology Transfer Accelerator, you have Technology Development Center, and so on and so forth. And each has a role in the system, sometimes overlapping roles, but all of them will provide you with help to create projects, help to host you, because they are we call it pépinière or hatcheries of company. They will put you all in their office. You give you an office and give you help for your need and also for preparing your project. That's it. And so other funding measure for innovation, from early stage you have some subsidy that you can capture let's say, or get from BPI France, something like 30,000 euro. And you have a special call. This is French Tech Scholarship. So it's for students or for starting company. You can also get small money for innovation, for technical feasibility, for testing, marketing, or partnership pricing. And this is when you're creating your company. People like BPI France can finance innovation holder, or they can finance a company, or they can help you in creating your company. Okay. You can have also measures for your R&D and innovation projects with feasibility studies. It can be subsidy or loan. You can see here the numbers. It can go up to 3 million. This is a lot of money, even. And this is, of course, for, let's say, developed project like you're investing in prototyping, pilot production, demonstration, also intellectual property protection, standard compliance, market study, business plan. All of this make you spend a lot of money. You can have also a regional partnership for innovation together with BPI France and also the French government. And you can get for that a subsidy up to 200,000 euro for your project, or you can get a loan for 0% for the industrial stage of development. And this you can go up to 500. Okay, you have example also, another example is for technology company with major disruptive activity. You can go for competition, and you can get subsidy up to 600,000 euros. You have also very specific measures like the PIT prize. This is for students that are thinking about entrepreneurship. And you have also competition for innovative projects carried out by startups. And startups actually have a lot of help. Yes, and before I would like you to look at this picture. This is another funding instrument for innovation made by Paris, the city. So there is the French Tech Ticket. This is the measure for helping entrepreneurs coming from abroad. And you can see here that we have 1,300 that has been already funded, and something like the first position is coming from India. This is nice to see. So this French Tech Ticket is a package. If you win the competition, you will get for you and your partners each 25,000 euro for 1 year. You will get a fast track to get your residence permit to install your company in France. You will access to event, workshops, seminars, everything. They will help you, and they even can help you with a help desk that is in English speaking, and they will provide you an office. And so on. So it's a nice, let's say, it's the genius prize for people that are coming from abroad to start a company in France. Actually, for startup, you have so many measures to help startups. That I just gave the title. You have here from July to November this year, 2020. All of this is, you have 75 call for application from now to November. So investing in startups, investing in France in innovation is a very serious matter. Okay, so I decided to finish my presentation with something that I would say is exactly, by my discussion with Nirmala, exactly what you're looking for. So it's ATT, the Technology Transfer Accelerator Office. So this SATT is a measure that has been created in 2012, and it was stated, it was an initiative from universities. They said, we have laboratory of research with researchers inside. They have lots of patents. They have lots of things pending, like property, intellectual property that is pending, and nobody is developing. So we would like to help our researcher to develop in innovation or transfer this technology into the industry. So they created the SATT. This is the university that created the SATT. And then they group researcher together, or people that have the capacity to give ideas to researcher or help researcher. They group them with lawyers, accountant, finance body, and so on. And then they created this technology transfer accelerator offices. The mission was to accelerate the transformation of French research into innovation. Okay, so get your patents out of your office to the market. This was the mission, and they succeeded. They succeeded very well. So they made a lot of technology transfer. And they made a lot of project and help from being an intermediary person between the university and also private institution or private clients, and also being intermediary in between the university and also financing bodies. They created a lot of startups. So, as I said, it was created in 2012. I saw them arriving on the market, and I was saying, "Oh, those patents were in the offices of the university for 30 years, maybe. Are you sure those guys are going to transfer that into the market?" Yes, they did, and it's very successful. And I think we have to get inspired by those people. Yes, and of course, to invest in that area, it was one of the project of PIR. Remember this thing in 2017 to give a new impulse for the industry in France. So this is the PIR measure. They got money of that, and they used it very nicely. Yes, they are cooperative between the public research sector, and also they help you in your project, of course, and bring together professional expertise and financing also, and they can even help you in being hosted in your project.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so
Handy.
I'm hearing noise. Sorry. Follow up?
Yeah.
Yes, I follow up. Something is happening. I couldn't hear what was the talk about. Okay, so let's focus on SATT. I have still 2-3 minutes to talk. SATT evolution. So from 2012, they has been created. The first mission was to transfer the patents that are in university to industry, and this they succeeded a lot. And after 5 years, they made a statement. It was more than only transferring the technology to industry. It was a bigger achievement. The achievement was that they created a very big network, 5,000, this is a very big number in France, 5,000 enterprises that are in network together with them, small enterprises, one of the more interesting target for investment, because small enterprises are creating jobs, and they are spending a lot in R&D. They are very innovative. They are very versatile. So it's a big opportunity for development and economic development and creation of jobs. So this network, SATT, is now a network, and they are transferring their technology. And actually, what they stated is that technology transfer is not very usually traveling very far. Technology, you transfer it very near to you, and they have a number. They said something like 64% of our projects, technology coming from this territory university, it is transferred in the same territory, and this is a very nice statement. Okay, so the money you invest in your territory stay in your territory. That's nice. And they are working on all domain in the industry, for health, for technology of communication, for transport, for energy, for defense, okay, for food, for chemistry, and also for material. That's it. So I think this SATT for the need of university to transfer was a great success in France. That's it. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, Dr. Radhika? Hello? Now Dr. Radhika? The session is now open for discussion if somebody has any queries. Sugriti? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get some questions on the chat box?
Yes, ma'am, I got one.
You give it. Yeah.
So the question is from Mr. Ramchandra Bhatti. He's asking that, first of all, he's thanking for the informative talk. Then he's asking that the large number of plants are used to make such wooden buildings. So what kind of measures or policies are adopted by the government to make environment balance? Hello?
Well,
Hello?
yes, I could hear you, but it was a lot cutting. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand your question. So, is it in the chat or?
That's right, in the chat box.
Is it?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, so this is the first question, huh? I can read it. What kind of measure or policy are adopted by the government to make environment balance? Forest diversity and loss. Is it the question? Huh? Just
Yes,
confirm?
yes.
I think yes. Okay. Yes. So actually, it's the Ministry of Agriculture that is in charge in dictate us what to do about R&D research in FCBA for forestry. So every 3 years we have a plan that is directly discussed with the Ministry of Agriculture, and we have to follow that plan. And it contains everything we have to do everything we need to work on for research, and also this I would say plan or program every 3 years is discussed together with the industry, because the people from the forestry and the building industry and also furniture industry, everybody is discussing. Everybody's around the table, and they put their need into that book that is created exactly to be followed by FCBA. So the measures you want to, yeah. The measures is we're doing it together with the government. So we don't have to discuss that every year. It's every 3 years.
So we can go to the Radhika. We can go to the next question.
Yeah. So the next question, Dr. Juan, is about the tax incentives that you have taught in French ecosystem. So regarding the innovation tax credit, so how they are boosting these small enterprises especially in comparison to the startups in which the young company incentives are given. So in your sense, which are the best incentives for small enterprises? That they are neither the starters, but they have evolved from the starters, but they have not reached the large corporates level. Yeah, over to you, Dr. Johan.
So you're asking what are the measures for small enterprises?
Right.
Yes, okay. I would say that everything about innovation, everything about startups is exactly dedicated for small enterprises. We have lots of measures to help small and medium enterprises. Everything is done for them. I was talking about 9.7 billion every year spent for innovation. You can be sure that this 9.7, 90% is going for small companies. Very small company, even idea holder. You know, like my idea is to create a company. Okay, we help you to create a company, and we will give you guidance, and also we give you money to create your company. So it can be very early stage. We are really eager to get innovation working in France. It looks like very interesting, and it's a long time I didn't look into that, and I can see today that it is incredibly interesting now to have to be an idea holder in the industry in France.
Right. Thank you, Johan, for the insights on that. Moving ahead with what we have right now, as you said, special incentives and financial support is given to the small industries right at their stage. So if we talk about that, we need to give support through all stages of innovation. So there is a plan made by French government that deals with where we are supporting the phase 1, that is generation, then prototype development, then then industry ready process to be developed, and then finally taken up by industry or market. So there are different types of incentives, different types of financial support schemes that are being raised.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your question. May I suggest that you type it on your
Okay, Dr. Johan, okay, if I am audible, should I repeat it?
Yeah, try to repeat it, but I'm sure your voice is cutting a lot. Huh? Yes.
All right.
I don't know if you can understand me when I talk, because part of your words are cut. You know, like I don't get the full sentence and I don't get the full word. So whether you type it, but I'm wondering, can you hear me perfectly or?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. In that case, I request my colleague, the Simran, to take over from here. So she'll pose the next question to you.
This is hard because I understand that you can hear me perfectly, but your wording is cutting and even the sentence is cutting. So I'm sorry, I cannot. But I really hope that you can understand me.
Good afternoon, Dr. Jean. Am I audible?
Yes.
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 Thank you, Radhika. Dr. Jean, you talked about the Technology Transfer Acceleration Company, that is the STAT initiative of the France. I have a question that if a developing country had to adopt a model such as of the SAT, what advice would you have for that country? How can a developing country or how can a regional government adopt something like SAT in India?
Okay, I rephrase. You're talking about development of company, or you're talking about development of project?
No, I'm talking about development of a SAT model for a developing country. The SAT model that we talked about in France, developing that model for a developing country, like say India.
Well, look, yes, SAT model. I think you need nothing to implement it immediately. SAT model is held by research scientists. Okay, so you take a pool of research scientists, and there are the noyau. This is the core group is research scientists, and the research scientists know exactly what he needs to develop. Actually, they are very smart, and this is good. Yes. So the research scientists will give you the guidance for creating this, but research scientists cannot succeed alone because he needs lots of tools like lawyer, like marketing people, like I don't know, regulation, like accountants, finance body, and those people are, I said, tools. This is not nice to say that, but actually this is the reality. They will provide you with capacity. Okay, the scientists need capacity to perform, and they need it for transfer also. So what is missing for researcher is people from law area, from accountant, finance, and so on, and also people that will put you in the network, go and talk. You know, you cannot be everything when you're a scientist. You cannot be a nice talking person and also same time a lawyer. When your major is in research in I don't know, biology, it's impossible. So it would be a strange person, right? You cannot be strong in every area. So, but you know what is needed, and the error not to do a private institution or private company. They put the manager as a marketing manager, as a finance body or finance major person. Yeah, but here we are talking about transfer technology. So the boss has to be the researcher. The boss has to be the researcher, and they will tell you what to do. Okay? So you need nothing, nobody. You can get inspired very easily, but you will see the smart people are on the top of the system, like in Apple, and the other are performing their job, but they are not managing. You know, you don't put financing body in management. Otherwise, you will turn into a very normal, not innovative company. Because if you want money, then you will take never a risk. So,
Okay, Jonu, can I just ask something?
Yeah,
this SATT, is it started by the government, or it is done under a government initiative, or it is by private companies joining together to appoint a scientist or all the lawyers, or putting these together?
Yeah, it is a university initiative.
Okay.
Private has nothing to do. Private is science.
Okay. The university started it. Okay.
Yeah, they started it. Yes, they started it. Okay. They said we need those patents to go out of our office. We need them to go on the market. What to do? And then they organize everything. That's it. Okay. So it's only a matter of will. So if you will to do that, you can do it. And you can get inspired by them. You can get inspired. So part of their website is in English.
Okay.
Okay. And one of the person I'm working with in that institution was here actually, and they turned there. Yes, and so I'm very often in contact with this kind of structures. but if you want to start this kind of thing, maybe you can get guidance from abroad for that, not only France, maybe also other countries. I don't know if you have if it's more easy for you to work with other innovative policy maker, maybe in Europe or other country. This is completely open, but I mean, for your if you want to apply SATT in India or in your university, you can just decide it and do it.
Okay,
you don't need
much.
it's very easy to understand.
We'll take some consultation from you. Actually, in the university, what we done, a lot of research is done. But the main problem is our research just is making, we publish papers, hundreds of papers, but it does not really go out because there is no channel where our technology which we have developed, it goes to the markets. That's a main lacuna, like other universities, but in our university it's like that. So if it was possible, if we could get some guidance, if like a possibility of setting up something like that, it would help us researchers a lot, because that would be the exact result, doing research and not being able to take out to the market. That's a huge loss also for development. So maybe if we'll contact you, and also maybe you can tell us with some people who can just give an overall idea of how this works.
Yeah. Yes, well, my colleague now is my colleague that we were working together. He was doing the same job than me. Now he is in the Chamber of Commerce. He has a very nice overview. He gave me some advices for this presentation, and well, the problem is that he's not very easy to talk in English for him, but of course I can just get the information and transfer it to you, no problem.
Yeah, that way, because we want to do something for university so that our research grows forward. So we'll take.
So I give you. Yeah, lots of initiatives are working and not working. This initiative is working, and I think it's because the managing or the top management in this institution is done by research scientists.
Yes.
And not with banking or I don't know what. That is of course very important. But if you want to make innovation, you need the people that are doing the innovation, not the merchandise, but the boss, not the merchandise. And this, I like this idea. I don't know if you like it too, but I like it myself.
Yes. Thank you. We have another one. Simran, do we have another question, or is it?
Yes, ma'am, we do. Sir, because there's an issue regarding the being audible, could you please check the questions in the chat? I'll read them. How international S&T engagements for innovation and technology development and deployment can be enhanced between India and France?
Okay, and this question is
from Dr. Radhika Trikha.
Oh, well, this is a nice question. I don't have immediately the answer, but I can call the French embassy in India. I did that work with different countries. Actually, it's very simple. I didn't talk at all about that. It's also measures for help, and I used it myself for me. So they can help you in transfer. I mean, they can help you in getting students. They can help you in making communication or transportation easy between France and India, France and China, France and other countries. Japan. I did it also with Japan. So the key is the embassy, French embassy, and in each embassy you have a representative of BPI France. Remember this big institution?
Okay.
They are there. They are there, and we can just contact them and say, okay, we have technology to transfer. The technology is the French SATT that we want to transfer it there. Do you agree to help us in that? And they will tell you, okay, just write down your project, tell us who are your partners, what you envision, and then they will help us in different way. Transportation, they can help us in rising project. There are some international cooperation with Europe, international cooperation projects. We can invite Indian government or Indian partners or Indian university to get into a project, European project. This we did it already with specific countries like Chile. We have in South of America. I can just have a look, and we have a special call in Europe called INCO, International Cooperation. So INCO can also help in that for measures, help in finding some subsidy to move and meet. This is always starting like that. It is very easy when you move and meet the people to start with. Okay.
Yeah. Going further, thank you, Dr. John. There's a question regarding the present COVID scenario. What is the feasibility of creating virtual integrated platforms for promoting innovation? How feasible do you think such platforms can be for promoting innovation?
Yes, exactly. I can see the question. This is a nice question. Thank you for that question. Well, I agree totally that we have to find new way of working. Anyhow, we have to find. But I would say now we have a project undergoing, European project undergoing, and it is very nice because we saved a lot of travel and transportation. But I don't think that we can do another 6 months with no meeting the people. While you're meeting with people, you have informal discussion. You have also lots of things that happen only because you meet the people. So I think it can be completely possible in COVID scenario to work from time to time with teleconference, no problem. But you cannot do only that. This is not possible. Only that. I think we will step back and working only with the people that are around us. See. So, and this is a pity because getting research and science from all over the world is something that we are used to now. We are really used to now, and only video conference is of course nice, but it's really better if you meet the people, and it's really stronger, I would say.
So, John, do you still have some time, or?
Yeah, I don't know what time is it. Yeah.
Okay.
But minutes, no problem.
Okay, Mansimra, do you have one more? What specific?
Ma'am, we have 2 more questions if Dr. Jean-Luc permits.
Yeah.
Moving on from one.
Yes, I can see what is the relevance of technology validation. Yes. Actually, I didn't talk about that. We rate all project, all ideas, all part of project. We rate them with TRL. Okay. Readiness level. It is business readiness level or So I have it. Of course, everybody has in mind this picture. I don't know if my screen is still visible. Is it still visible?
It is, sir.
So, yeah, I didn't present it, okay, because this is a very usual thing, this one or this one. Yes. So I wanted to highlight how technology readiness level is identified and how what is the partner in the research that is financing at different level of I would say of the life of a project. And well, I think in my presentation I didn't put this this picture because of course everybody knows about it, but I would say that everything that is low TRL is more or less funded by the government and public money, and the more you're ready to go to the market, and the more you will get money through loans or partners that get and take a share of your company, get into your company. So this is of course a lot used in France as a rating. Okay, but I would say that if you are looking about SATT, SATT is working from 1 to 9, and they're working for all areas because they have no choice. Things that are coming from university is very high, very I would say high level in science, but low level in TRL.
So the last one, Mansimran, we have?
Yes, ma'am. It is what specific policies have been instituted by the academia in France to foster more collaborations with the industry?
So is it a question that is written here?
Yes, sir.
The last one. What
specific
what
policies?
specific policy has been instituted by the academia to foster collaboration with industry?
With industry.
Yes. Well, it is. Well, it's the big project in France. The one that I'm working on are exactly instituted by the government. So the government is proposing a strategy every year, and they have, like I showed you, the agency ADEM have a policy for financing projects, and this kind of project you can work together with the university and also work with industry together to prepare a big project. And I would say that for that you have plenty of subsidy to cooperate with university in France. Yes. What I showed today is more organized or focused on creation of company or transfer of technology only. The work in between university and also private company is always very positive and very well working. It is and it is supported a lot by the French government with major projects, call for paper and so on.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Jean. There's one more question, if time allows.
Yeah, let's let this be the last one, so that
Right.
Yes.
Right, sure. Are you able to see, Dr. Jean?
What is the ratio of
Yes.
relative sharing?
Should I read it once?
Oh, yeah. Well, look, this depends a lot, and well, this is I would say there is no rule, and especially when you go to that subject, then you start non-ending discussion. It's endless discussion because, of course, everybody wants the biggest part. There is no rule. It depends how much you're involved in the development. Usually the people want to sell out not the patent but the use of the patent, like they get royalties. And I would say that it depends how much they are involved in the development. But usually they really want to get everything, like being the boss of a startup, get all the money getting in due to the royalty interest of the patent. The SATT has different way of rating. BPI France also, they know exactly, depending on how much you're involved in the development, how much you're involved in how much money is needed for the development. They will give you, they have I would say, methods of discussion and negotiation. But every time on this subject, it's a very hard subject. It's a very hard subject, and usually at that stage, sometimes everything breaks down. Everything stops at that level, because if you don't get any acceptance from all parties, then your project is cooked. Back in the cupboard, back in the office, with no development. Yes, it is a very important subject, and the 50-50 doesn't exist. Nearly 50-50, never.
Okay, so it has to
or
be
less discussion.
So Mamta, we can maybe, Mansimran.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. John. This was a very, very intuitive and perceptive talk for the afternoon. The afternoon, I'm sure, was a very fruitful one for us here in India. The introduction that you gave to us about the stakeholders of the innovation cycle has now given us a very clear view of how innovation works in France. And one of the interesting things was to know about the funding instruments in the metropoles, as we call the regional governments, which is not very popular in India. I mean, some other initiatives there are akin to ones in India, but the regional government initiatives are not very popular in India. And I'm sure your advice about the adoption of SAT model by other countries is a great take-home point from today's talk. So with this, I would like to take an opportunity on behalf of DST-Centre for Policy Research at Punjab University to express my profound gratitude to Dr. Jean-Louis Kouyoumji for his time today. Additionally, I would also like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, for taking out time to grace this seminar and his encouraging words. Lastly, I would like to thank Professor Nirmala, our coordinator, for her continuous efforts and encouragement to initiate this webinar series, which I am sure is going to be very helpful to all of us. I would like Professor Nirmala to kindly say a few words.
Okay. So, as a closing remark, Dr. Jean-Louis, it was really a very, very interesting talk, especially for us. And Policy Center, it will give us something to think about. And we are going to trouble you to ask many things, how if we want to do something for the university. And I'm sure that because you have a very helping nature, we'll reach out to you. And also, I thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor and all the participants for, our Vice Chancellor has been very supportive and encouraging, and that's how we could have this webinar. So with this, I'll close the meeting, and thank you again, Jean-Louis. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Always welcome.
Okay. Fine. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.